outdoor recreation, and today I want to help you choose your right paddle and size it up for your next paddling adventure. To be able to start, we have a kayak paddle here, known because it has two paddle blades, so one on either side, versus a stand-up paddleboard paddle that is going to have one paddle blade. We're going to go through all the pieces and parts of each of these paddle, how to properly size and hold them while you're out paddling. So we're going to go ahead and start with a kayak paddle. So a couple pieces for you. You're going to have the blade. That's going to be the entire yellow part. It should be in the water the entire time. With the blade, you're going to have a power face, which is going to be concave. It's going to curve towards you. So if you're not sure how to hold it, you're going to rotate that curved part towards you. And then back away from you, you're going to have the back face. As you come up the paddle, you're going to have the paddle shaft. The shaft is the part that I'm going to hold onto, and they come together at what's known as the throat. And then they have little drip rings here, which allow the water as it comes down to hopefully sheet off and not get you wet. It kind of works. You're probably still going to get a little wet. So if you have the paddle this way, you're also going to look at that blade and notice that it is asymmetrical, meaning it is longer on one side versus the other. You want that longer side up top. So the way I have it here, it's not up top. I'm going to rotate it so it is correct. However, that power face, that concave part is away from us. So we have to helicopter that paddle, rotate it towards us. Now we're holding the paddle the correct way. You're also going to make sure that the top edge is in line with your knuckles if you have a straight paddle shaft, so just like this. So you're going to hold it like this. To determine how far apart your hands are, you're going to take that paddle, put it on top of your head, and we like 90-degree angles at our elbow. So you're going to go ahead and spread them apart. So you got about 90, so too far, 90 degrees. Bring it back in front of you. If your paddle turned, go ahead and line your knuckles up with the front, and you are ready to go. To determine the right height of your paddle, wherever you just hold it, if you have what's known as a shaka, so the measurement from your pinky to your thumb should be from there to the throat, or if you take your paddle, put it down, put your hand on that throat again, we like 90-degree angles, you have a 90-degree, and so this is the right paddle length. For me, happens to be a 220-centimeter paddle. They are measured from tip to tip for the paddle. So that's how to size and hold a kayak paddle. We're also going to do the same thing with a stand-up paddleboard paddle. And I have this one labeled, so again it's going to have your blade, so the entire blade is going to go in the water. You're going to have the back face, which is back away from you. You're going to have the power face that is towards you. And with a stand-up paddleboard paddle, you can kind of see that there's a little bit of an angle at that throat that pushes the blade forward. So you want the flat part, the angle away from you. And the reason is, when you are paddling, when it gets to your toe, it's going to be nice and straight. If it was turned the incorrect way, you would get about here, and then it's going to pick up water. It's going to be less efficient as you're paddling. So always have it angled away from you. As we move up again, we have the throat and we have the shaft. And then the difference here is going to be the grip. So the TGrip is where we are going to hold on to our paddle. So I'm going to take that off just so it's easier for me to be able to show you. The TGrip is going to be up here. To go ahead and size the paddle, you're going to put it in front of you. You want a slight bend, so not a 90-degree. So we're going to adjust it. There's lots of different ways to adjust it. A slight bend is where you're going to want, and that's the height of your paddle. To be able to put your hands in the right spot, again, 90 degrees. This one will probably be way out here. Push it in 90 degrees at both of your elbows. And this is where you're going to hold it, 3 to 5 strokes on one side, and then you're going to switch hands, 3 to 5 strokes on the other side. So that's a little bit about making sure you know the pieces, the parts of your paddle, as well as how to size it. If you get on white water or something like that, you're going to go shorter with a shaka again. And so I would have this a little bit lower if I'm in white water. But for general recreation, we're going with that slight bend in your elbow. So hopefully this has helped you to be able to figure out what the best kayak and stand-up paddleboard paddle is for you. There's also differences in blade type, design, shaft type, and design. Lots more to it, but this will help you get started. We hope to see you out on the water.